Bevin, welcome. Welcome to this
Yeah.
talk. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Thank you so much. I was really eager to talk to you, to get to know you more, because I have seen your videos and stuff. I was like, that sounds so cool. What you
Yeah.
are posting on Instagram. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you for wanting to talk, talk to me and kind of having me on for a chat just about all things kind of stuttering and all that kind of stuff. So
That's great. And if you could please introduce yourself, tell us a bit more about you, what you do, who you are, where you're from.
awesome. Okay, so my name is 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 Bevin, and I'm 23. I've just finished up college. Well, I should actually say I'm from uh, Dublin, which is in Ireland. That's like in in Europe, even though we're not directly connected to Europe, like that's kind of our continent, I guess. I finished up college there a couple of months ago, or no, actually a good few months ago, back in May, I think it was. Um, and yeah, just at the moment, I'm really kind of just figuring life out. I'm looking for jobs. I do have a job at the moment, but it is part time, and like it's still a great job, and I do like the job, but I'm obviously looking for something a lot more like full time, because that's obviously what the majority of people do after college. They go and look for jobs, but apart from that, I'm working on my blog at the moment, My Stutter and I. So that's kind of keeping me busy and kind of getting me involved with like the wider stuttering community, which is kind of something I've always been interested in. And yeah, I guess that's it really. That's kind of where I'm at with my life at the moment.
Sounds like you have a lot of things going on, so many like exciting things coming probably. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, like sometimes when you are in that phase, you feel like it's very unstable. But if you look for from a different way of seeing things, it's like you have a lot of doors open and a lot of possibilities. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like because I did my college course for 4 years, I think it was. But before that, I did another kind of smaller college course. So I've been in education for 18 years of my life, and it's really weird not having to go back into education. Like I do still eventually want to go back and do something else, maybe, or do a master's or something. But I am just really taking this time, like for the next year or so, to kind of like, like I said, just figure out what I'm interested in, what I'm passionate about, and all that kind of stuff.
And so when did you start stuttering, and how did stuttering impact your life?
So I've only just really like um realized this, but I've been stuttering since I was 3 years old, I think. But I only remember obviously stuttering at like 5 or 6. Um, so I usually just go at 5 or 6 because that's kind of when I kind of remember. And I suppose the impact it has, or it used to have on my life, was quite a one. Like I did shy away from a lot of things when I was young, for the fear of being rejected or judged or not accepted. And it did control quite a bit part of my life for the course of about 12-ish years or so. And I suppose that's obviously going to affect the way I feel about myself and my speech and all that kind of stuff. But I suppose now, like the past 5 or 6 years, it still impacts on my life. Like obviously there's the odd time or the odd day where I don't want to speak up because again of the fear of being rejected or judged or not accepted. But I've learned to kind of live with it instead of fighting against it and letting it control my life. So yeah, like that's kind of the impact. Like when I was younger, obviously a lot more of a negative impact. I wouldn't so much say it's now a positive impact, but I'm learning to love my stutter, which is obviously improving my relationship with it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think once you come to terms with it, it becomes much easier for ourselves to live life, with it. And
Yeah.
don't accept it's such a heavy weight because you're constantly reminding yourself that you stutter, you have a speech impediment, because it's always there. It's not something you can put it like aside. So
Yeah.
that's great that you are able to come to terms with it in such a young age. Many people never come to terms with it at all.
Mm.
So well done, you.
Thank you.
And how did you get involved with the Irish Stuttering Association and the Stuttering Association for the young? And what is your role in it?
So that's two separate things. So the Irish Stuttering Association is what we have over here in Ireland for people who stammer. Like obviously stammering and stuttering mean the same thing. So we over in Ireland and the UK use the word stammering, but I obviously use them both like interchangeably. Um, so I suppose that association is for Irish people who stutter or stammer, and it's a support network. It's a community. We do lots of events, lots of workshops, lots of that kind of a thing. And I've been involved with it since I was very young. I think I was kind of getting involved with it from the age of like 7, which is like a long time. And I attended their young like drama workshops and their young their events for young people, and I like made lots of friends, and I I was very involved in that side of it, as well as being involved with all the different types of events as well. And I suppose now I would be, I don't know what to call myself. I'm very much like an all-rounder in the association. I kind of do like everything. I mean, again, I'm not like the founder. Like it's not just solely me, but I suppose I'm there to like support like like everyone. Um, but again, I would be mostly involved with like the young people and like or with the young people and and facilitating the events and the workshops for the younger people, just because that's something I'm so passionate about. And yes, that's kind of my role in the Irish Stuttering Association. And then the Stuttering Association for the Young is a group over in America, mainly New York and Washington. And I think there is a branch now in Australia. Yeah. But I'm not involved with the Australian one. But with the association in America, I think I was involved with them again from like the age of like 7. And I would mostly, obviously, I'm not living in the country, so it's kind of difficult to be involved with them sometimes. But I have worked at, or I've attended and I've worked at their summer camps. So that'd be like kind of like the main thing that I do with them. But then again, I've also made like lots of friends live there, and I connect with them on like a regular basis. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm involved with the 2 different associations.
Sounds awesome. And also I wanted to ask you about your blog, My Stutter and I.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to create this blog? And what is the message that you want to pass to people?
I suppose I wanted to start a blog for like a long time. Like ever since I was like 16, 17, it was always something that like interested me. And like I said before, I love to write. And I thought that this is kind of a good way to get into writing and not just kind of be writing like short stories or, novels and stuff like that. And then I suppose over like COVID and like lockdown and the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, I started to think more about the like my interest in the blog and like kind of the blog world and all that kind of stuff. And it's really only been going for the past like 2 months, I think, just under 2 months, which obviously isn't like a long time. But yeah, that's kind of why I said, well, that, and also I wanted to be a voice for the female population who stutter, because I've noticed that it's mostly men who are out there and who are speaking about it. And I kind of want to be a voice for the females, and that, yeah, I guess was, so yeah, like those 2 reasons. And what was the second question? Sorry.
What was the message that you want to send to people with your blog?
Okay, cool. So the message, I suppose, is that if you're a person who stutters, you are not alone. And that's kind of the main message. It's very much like whoever kind of comes to the website or the blog or my Instagram, I just want them to take away the message that they are not alone, and that you do have people who are going through similar things. And yeah, that's it really.
Out of curiosity, do you have more people who like stutter messaging you, or people who don't stutter?
I do have people. Yeah, I do have a lot of people who stutter messaging me. I don't think I've ever, since I set up the blog, I don't think I've ever talked to someone who doesn't on my Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And since you like started to talk very openly about the stuttering, what has changed in your life?
I suppose I've always been open with it in some kind of a way. Like my mom stu- 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 so she'd that's where my stutter came from, and we'd like always talk about it when I was young. So I've always been open with it, but I suppose now it's like on like the world stage. I suppose like it's on social media, and um, I suppose it's kind of making me learn to accept it more, and to respect and to like honor my everyday feelings. Because for like the first couple of weeks when I did set up the blog and the Instagram, I only wanted to talk about like the positive things, and it's okay to stutter, and which it obviously is, but it's only now recently that I'm becoming more open with the more negative side, and that it's okay to feel that you don't want to talk, or you feel like, you know, that the world doesn't want to listen, and like it's okay to have your bad days, and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose in that sense, being more open with like all aspects of my structure has really made me kind of learn to accept the good and the bad, and that, you know, it is okay to stutter, but it's okay to not like your stutter all the time. And yeah, so basically, long story short, or the short answer is being more open with my or about my stutter, or what it has really made a huge positive impact on my life and my future.
Cool. And and the last question, what piece of advice would you give to people who stutter?
I suppose this is kind of going back to everything I just said, and like to kind of to know and to understand that it's okay to to stutter, and I suppose not even like learn to accept it, because that does take time, but to learn to accept yourself as a whole person, rather than as someone who stutters, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, you know, you may stutter and you may not accept your stutter, but well, at the moment, obviously, like you will eventually, if you want to learn to accept it, you can. But to just accept yourself as a full person, whether or not you stutter, if that makes sense.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
just like accept and like embrace yourself the way you are with everything that you are.
Yeah.
So that's a really good message. I think that's very important. Yeah. And maybe sometimes we don't fully reach 100% of the acceptance, but we have 90%, which is already great. So those things take time, and but I think it's just important to want to accept and to want to embrace everything that you are in the way that you are. I think the desire to want is the first step, yeah, for things to start to happen, and then they will take the time they have to take, and every person is different. So for someone might take longer, for someone else might take not so long. So
yeah, no, like I think everyone has the power within themselves to accept themselves.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Thank you so much, Bevin. Thank you for this great talk. It's so nice to see the person behind all of those Instagram videos about the stuttering and just liking your pictures, your videos. So it's nice to actually talk to you and get to know you a little bit more. And I really hope that everything that you are looking for will come to you soon, that you don't have to wait for too long.
Hopefully, yeah. Thank you for having this chat with me. Like I love talking about these kind of things, and yeah, no, it was just such a nice chat, and it kind of made me think about a few things as well, which is always interesting.
Thank you, Bevin. I wish
Thank
you the best
you.
and keep
You
in
too.
touch.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Thank you too.